The sky was dark with smoke. Fire still burned in the distance, crackling over blackened metal and crushed stone. The battlefield stretched for miles, filled with broken machines, shattered ships, and the remains of soldiers, both human and alien. It was quiet now. Too quiet. Only the wind moved, carrying dust and ash across the ruins like ghosts whispering through the dead. Commander Eli Voss moved carefully between the rubble. His boots crunched on glass and burned out wires. His rifle stayed close, eyes scanning every shadow. His planet had once been home to the Drakari, a powerful predator species that had fought the Empire with tooth, claw, and ancient tech. But now their cities were ash, their people gone wiped out in one of the bloodiest campaigns in recent memory. Eli didn't speak. He didn't need to. He was alone. His squad had been recalled, but he'd volunteered to stay one more night, sweeping the ruins for any missed threats. It was supposed to be routine, boring. Just walk the edge of the burn zone, log it, and leave. But then he heard a sound. It wasn't loud. It wasn't even close. Just a faint whimper, almost lost in the wind. Eli stopped moving. He tilted his head and held his breath. There it was again. Sharp, soft cry, high-pitched, not mechanical. Not human. Something was alive out there. Eli moved slowly, crouching low, following the sound. He passed a collapsed wall and ducked under a half-melted archway. The crying got louder, more urgent. A soft yelping now, broken and weak. It was coming. From behind a pile of rubble-twisted beams and scorched stone, he raised his rifle and circled carefully. What if it was a trap? The Drakari were smart, brutal. Maybe one of them had survived and was faking the sound to lure him in. But then, he saw it. At the base of the rubble was a small figure, curled up, shivering, covered in dust and dried blood. It was no bigger than a backpack. Its fur was matted and dirty, dark gray with streaks of crimson. One leg looked broken, twisted under its tiny body. Its eyes, bright, glowing yellow, watched Eli with a mix of terror and pain. It was a cub, a Drakari cub. Eli stared, heart pounding. He'd seen what the adults could do, bing through armor, tearing through squads with nothing but claws and fury. This thing would grow into that. It was a predator, bred for war, designed to kill. But right now, it wasn't killing anyone. It was crying. He lowered his rifle. The cub flinched and tried to back away, letting out a sharp, helpless whimper. Eli didn't move closer. He just knelt, slowly, and reached into his pack. He pulled out a water canister and twisted the cap. Then, gently, he rolled it across the floor toward the cub. The little creature sniffed it, unsure. Then, desperate, it licked the opening. It drank fast, greedily, and then whimpered again, softer this time. Eli sighed. This wasn't protocol. He should report it, call it in. The Empire's standing orders were clear: no survivors. The Drakari had declared total war. No prisoners, no mercy. The Empire had returned the favor, but this wasn't a soldier. It was just a child. Eli sat there for a long moment, staring at the cub. Memories came rushing in his daughter's face before she died. The evacuation alarms, the burning city. He remembered holding her as the last transport lifted off Earth's surface. The war had taken everything. He looked at the cub again. Maybe this didn't have to end the same way. He moved slowly, holding out his hand. Easy, he whispered. I'm not going to hurt you. The cub sniffed his fingers, then weakly pushed its head against his palm. That was it. That was the moment. Everything changed. Eli wrapped the cub gently in his cloak and lifted it into his arms. It was warm and light, barely breathing. It made a soft purring noise, like it was trying to comfort itself. He looked around once more, then turned back the way he came. He moved fast now, careful not to be seen. The Empire didn't like rule breakers. And saving an enemy species? That was more than a rule break. That was treason. The cub stirred in his arms. Eli tightened his grip, whispering, It's okay. I've got you. Back at his small drop pod, he opened the hidden storage bay beneath the floor. It was meant for weapons and supplies, but now it would carry something far more dangerous. He laid the cub inside, gave it more water, and sealed the compartment shut. He could hear it moving softly inside, curled into a ball. The pod's engines powered up. Eli sent the launch request. It would be marked as routine return, nothing suspicious. The system wouldn't scan his gear too hard. He was a decorated commander, after all. No one questioned heroes. As the pod lifted into the sky, Eli stared out the window. The battlefield shrank behind him. The fire still burned. The wind still carried dust and ash. Nothing had changed, but everything had. He didn't know what he'd just done. He didn't know what this cub would grow into. A weapon? A threat? A friend? All he knew was this: he couldn't leave it behind. And somewhere deep in the shadows of the Empire, someone would whisper about this. Someone would find out. When they did, they wouldn't be silent for long. But for now, the stars were quiet, and the cub slept. The transport ship hummed through deep space, its engines pushing it toward the nearest orbital command. Inside, soldiers slept, chatted, or cleaned their gear. It was just another return flight after another mission. Everyone was tired. Everyone wanted to forget what they saw on the surface, except Eli Voss. He sat near the back of the ship, silent, tense, watching the cargo scanner lights blink green as crates were cleared one by one. His hands rested on his knees, but his eyes never left the control panel. One mistake, one glitch in the scanner. One curious officer and everything would fall apart, because inside a sealed box marked as salvage tech components, hidden beneath a false bottom lined with heat-blocking panels, living Drakari cub was sleeping. He had named it Rikar. Not because it was a Drakari word. He didn't even know what it meant. He just said it. The cub had looked up at him when he said it, eyes wide, ears twitching, like it understood. That scared him more than anything else. Across the ship, a sensor technician tapped at his console. Eli's heartbeat jumped. The scanner paused, the console blinked. The text squeaked, then green light cleared. Eli exhaled, slow and controlled. Too much. This was too much. But there was no going back. 2 hours later, the transport docked at Orbital Station Halberd, a cold steel ring floating above a dead world. It was quiet, efficient, and always watching. Security cameras lined the halls. Drones drifted silently through every corridor. Empire logos were everywhere on doors, uniforms, walls, even the ceilings. Eli carried his gear through customs like everyone else. His rank helped. No one looked too closely. No one asked about the extra crate. He walked fast, head down, straight to his private quarters. Once inside, he locked the door and activated the white noise field. Then he opened the crate. The cub blinked at the sudden light, curled up tight in the corner, didn't hiss, didn't growl. It just stared. Eli sat on the floor. "Well," he muttered, "you made it." He reached in slowly. The cub sniffed his hand, then crawled out, limping on its broken leg. Eli's heart twisted a little. He'd wrapped it as best he could during the flight, but he wasn't a medic. He needed help. Quiet help. He opened a pouch and pulled out some rations, basic protein packs. The cub sniffed, then bit into them hungrily. Eli watched. Its claws were growing. Its teeth were sharper. It was healing fast. Too fast. Over the next few days, Eli worked in shifts, half military duties, half taking care of the cub. He hid Ricker inside a false wall behind his locker, surrounded by insulation panels that blocked movement sensors. Whenever he had free time, he fed it, talked to it, sometimes just sat near it. The cub didn't speak, but it listened. One night, Eli returned to his room after a long patrol. He opened the hidden wall. Ricker wasn't there. Panic hit him like a punch to the chest. He looked around under the bed, in the bathroom, even behind the food dispenser. Then he felt it. A presence. He turned. Ricker stood on the dresser, perfectly still, yellow eyes glowing in the dark. One paw raised, claws extended, watching him, not growling, not attacking, just Watching Eli didn't move. "Hey," he whispered, voice tight. "Okay, it's me." Ricker tilted its head, then slowly, very slowly lowered its claws and jumped down. Eli sat on the edge of the bed, shaken. He wiped sweat from his forehead. Wasn't a normal cub. It wasn't just a baby animal. Something else was going on. The way it moved. The way it stared. The way it always seemed to understand more than it should. He started to speak again. But Ricker made a sound first. A chirp, then. A click, then. Something closer to a word. Eli froze. Did it just try to speak? Ricker looked at him and said softly, "Fa." Eli stared, mouth dry. "Say that again," he whispered. The cub tilted its head. "Father?" It wasn't perfect, more growl than speech. But it was trying, and it had chosen that word. From that moment, Eli knew everything had changed again. This wasn't just a rescue. This wasn't just survival. This was a connection. But while Eli and Ricker built trust behind closed doors, the station's security teams were running quiet background checks. Movement logs were being flagged. Sensor interference noted. Few patrol drones had caught odd signals from Eli's quarters. It's barely under the detection threshold. No one had acted yet, but someone was watching, and someone was whispering something is wrong here. Something dangerous, and it might be hiding in plain sight. The lights were off. Eli lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, body still, but mind racing. The hum of the space station surrounded him, a soft, constant sound that usually helped him sleep. But not tonight, because something had changed, and it was. Standing at the foot of his bed, Rikker. The cub was bigger now. Not full grown, but no longer small enough to fit in a supply box. Its fur had thickened, claws sharpened, and muscles coiled under its sleek gray skin. And now, in the darkness, its glowing yellow eyes watched Eli without blinking. The cub didn't growl, didn't move, stood there. Silent then, slowly it lifted one paw. The claws slid out with a soft click. Eli didn't breathe. What was it doing? Testing him? Threatening him? Or protecting him? He sat up slowly, not breaking eye contact. "Ricker," he whispered. The cub lowered its claws and stepped forward. Its head tilted, and it made a low, rumbling sound, not a warning. "A question?" Eli reached out. Ricker leaned in and pressed its head against his chest. The moment passed, but the fear didn't. The next morning, Eli checked the cub's vitals with his hidden scanner. Ricker's body temperature had stabilized. The leg injury was gone. I called. I'm red. I'm sending run. I'm Rasa. I'm Rabram. I'm Guy. I'm Berg. I'm Shana. Healed, bone, tissue, everything. Faster than any normal creature could recover? Too fast. He ran a blood test with a stolen analyzer. What it showed made his hands shake. Dr. KARIDNA wasn't just strong. It was evolving, learning, changing. Eli looked at Ricker, who was now playfully poking at a metal cup on the floor, trying to balance it on one claw. It seemed innocent even. Cute, but the results didn't lie. This cub was not ordinary. It might be something the Empire had never seen before, and maybe that's why they wanted the Drakari wiped out. Eli knew he needed help, but not from anyone in the military. Empire discovered Ricker, they would destroy it. No questions, no mercy. They were terrified of anything they couldn't control. So, he reached out to someone he hadn't spoken to in years. Her name was Dr. Mara Keene, a former Empire bioengineer turned freelance medic. She'd saved his life once, back during the early days of the war. But she'd vanished after speaking out against Empire experiments. Experiments that sounded a lot like what he was seeing in Rickar now. He sent a secure message with one line. I found something. It's alive, and I think it's learning. Mara responded within minutes. Meet me in Dock 3, 0700. Come alone. Eli didn't wait. He packed food, water, a portable med kit, and most importantly, wrapped in a long cloak like a sleeping bag. The cub didn't complain, just watched everything, soaking in every movement, every sound, on the way out. Eli passed a maintenance crew. One of them looked up, a long, slow look, too long. Later, that same crewman would report strange smells and odd noises coming from Eli's room. Nothing direct, nothing obvious, just unusual, the kind of thing the Inquisitors like to hear about. Eli didn't know it yet, but his name had just landed on a list. At Dock 3, Dr. Mara Keene stood waiting, dark coat, data glasses, eyes sharp as ever. You're late, she said. Traffic, Eli replied, smiling slightly. Then she saw the bundle. Her expression changed. You brought it. Eli nodded. He's more than I expected. They stepped into a small private lab built into an old cargo bay. She activated privacy shields and sealed the room. Then, carefully, Eli unwrapped the cloak. Ricker sat quietly on the metal table. Staring straight at her, Mara took a slow breath. My God. She scanned him, took a blood sample, monitored his eyes, his brainwaves, his reflexes. This isn't just a survivor, she said after a while. This is a prototype. Eli frowned. What do you mean? Look at his cell structure. It adapts instantly. His brain is mapping language patterns on its own. Right? Mimicking your behavior? He's bonding. Rickar suddenly growled low. Protective Mara took a step back. He understands us. Eli nodded. He called me father. Mara's face went pale. That's impossible. No, Eli said. Real. For a moment, no one spoke. Then Mara whispered, the Empire will destroy you both if they find out. Eli looked at Ricker, who had climbed into his lap, curling into a tight ball. I know. Mara handed him a chip. Take this. It'll wipe your logs and fake a transfer request. Buy you a few days, maybe a week. Then what? Then you run. Eli took the chip. His hand shook slightly. Outside the sealed room, 2 security drones drifted past. One of them paused. Sensors blinked red for a moment, scanning the bay door inside. Ricker opened one eye and growled, a sound so deep and unnatural it made. The drone hesitated. Just for a second, then it moved on, but that growl would be recorded, reviewed, and someone, somewhere would whisper, that wasn't human, that wasn't right, and the hunt would soon begin. The lights were too bright, the air too quiet. Commander Eli Voss sat at the mess hall table, staring at his untouched food. Around him, soldiers laughed and talked. It all looked normal, but Eli knew better. Someone was watching him. The whispers had started 2 days ago. People mentioning strange sounds, strange smells. Security officers walking slower near his room. Drones hovering just a second longer. And now, someone new had arrived on the station. Inquisitor Valen, she stepped into the mess like a shadow falling across the room. Tall, lean, cold eyes behind a visor. Her uniform was clean, too clean. She didn't speak. She just looked. And when she looked, people stopped talking. Rumors moved fast in space. Word was, she only showed up when the Empire suspected something serious. Traitors, spies, or hidden tech, or secrets. Eli kept his eyes down. Ricker was back. In the crawl space, hidden, safe, he hoped. Later that night, his door chimed. He didn't answer. It opened anyway. Inquisitor Valen stepped inside without a word. hands behind her back. 2 armed guards stayed at the door. "Commander Voss," she said softly. "May I come in?" Eli stood slowly. "Looks like you already did." She smiled. "Cold, sharp, just routine," she said. "We received sensor anomalies from your quarters. Minor energy surges. Could be nothing." "Could be," Eli said. "But," she added, stepping closer, "when it comes to nothing, I've found it's always something." She looked around, slowly, carefully. Eli's mind raced. Ricker had been quiet for hours. But what if he moved? What if Valen noticed the temperature difference behind the wall? Then she turned to him. "I've read your file," she said. "Decorated, loyal, a survivor. You've seen things most never will." He said nothing. "I just want to ask one thing," she continued. "When you came back from Drakkar Prime, did you bring anything with you?" Lai didn't blink. "No." She stared for a long time, then smiled again. "Of course not." She turned to leave. At the door, she paused. "If you remember anything at all, you'll tell me, won't you?" "Of course," he said. When the door slid shut, Eli dropped into the chair and let out a shaky breath. He didn't sleep that night. The next day, things got worse. The drone that had recorded Rickar's growl, its logs had been reviewed. Valane's tech team flagged it as biological anomaly. They ran voice print comparisons and found no match in any known species. Now, she had orders. Find the source. She began scanning quarters one by one, quietly, politely. Officially, it was a routine systems sweep. But the soldiers knew what it really meant. Someone brought something back, and it wasn't human that night. Eli returned to his quarters and opened the crawl space. Ricker was awake, eyes wide, breathing fast. "Did anyone come in here?" Eli asked. Ricker nodded once. Eli felt cold. He looked the cub over. No wounds, no signs of a fight. But something was different. The air smelled. Burned. Then he saw it. A broken cable on the far wall melted at the end, and behind it blackened metal. Like someone or something had discharged energy, like a defense reflex. Rickar looked at him, pupils sharp, focused. "You protected this place," Eli whispered. Ricker said nothing, but he understood. He always understood. Eli knew time was running out.
"Oh, Eli."
Wouldn't stop until she found the source of the anomaly. And when she did, Ricker would be dead, unless they left, unless they ran. He grabbed his datapad, opened the hidden comms channel Mara had set up. One word now. Then he started packing. Across the station, Inquisitor Valen sat in her private chamber, reviewing the sensor logs for the day. One room stood out again. Eli's single, quotes, same power spike, same energy pattern. She smiled. "Found you," she whispered, and activated the lockdown. The hunt had begun. The alarm came without warning. A long, sharp sound filled the station, louder than the regular drills. Red lights flashed across the walls, doors sealed, engines powered down. It was a full lockdown. Eli didn't need to ask why, they knew. Threw on his jacket and ripped open the crawl space. Rickar was already alert, crouched and ready, like he had sensed it before the alarm even started. The cub's eyes glowed brighter than usual. "They're coming," Eli whispered. No time for gear. No time for thought. He grabbed his backup weapon, a stolen clearance card from Mara and Ricker. They ran. The hallways were silent, like the station itself was holding its breath. Soldiers moved in teams now, scanning walls, opening sealed rooms. Drones flew faster, scanning heat signatures and chemical traces. Inquisitor Valen stood in the command center, watching their every move on the screens. "Seal Deck B," she ordered. "He'll head for the lower ports. Cut him off." Eli had trained for hundreds of escape scenarios, but this wasn't training. This was desperation. He turned a corner and nearly ran into a patrol. Ricker leaped forward without a sound, landing behind a nearby crate. Eli raised his weapon but didn't fire. The patrol kept moving, unaware. They slipped into a narrow maintenance shaft. Eli's heart pounded. Every breath felt loud, every sound, like a signal that would give them away. "Come on," he whispered, leading Ricker through the tight crawl space. Behind them, metal doors closed one by one. The Empire was closing the net. When they reached Dock 6, Eli swiped the clearance card. The door blinked red, then green. The lock disengaged. Inside waited a small smuggler's ship, half broken. It's barely legal, but it could fly, and it was theirs. Mara stepped out from the cockpit. "Took you long enough." "Traffic," Eli said again, breathless. Ricker jumped into the ship, scanning the area before curling beside the wall. Mara looked at the cub, then back at Eli. "You ready?" "No," he said. "But we're out of time." They sealed the hatch and powered up the engine. The ship groaned, then lifted behind them. Elaine's team reached the dock, but it was too late. The ship broke through the outer barrier. Just before the hangar doors closed, Valen stood on the edge of the platform, watching the trail of fire disappear into the stars. "Find them," she said. "I want every satellite, every drone, every listening post scanning the outer systems." He has the cub. On board the ship, Eli dropped into the co-pilot seat, breathing hard. "We made it," he said. Mara didn't smile. "You've started a war." Ricker crawled into Eli's lap again and looked up at him, not scared, not confused, but calm. Then, in a soft, broken voice, he spoke again. "They're afraid of me." Eli froze. "Yes," he said. "They are." Because whatever Ricker was becoming, it wasn't just a survivor. It was something new, something powerful, and the Empire would never stop hunting him. Not because of what he was, but because of what he might become. The stars outside the ship were calm, peaceful, but inside, everything was tense. Ricker sat in silence near the back of the smuggler ship, eyes glowing softly in the dark. He hadn't spoken since they escaped the station. Not one word. Mara watched him from the pilot seat, fingers tapping the controls. "He's not a normal cub," she said. Eli nodded. "I know." "No, you don't," she replied. She turned the screen toward him. It showed scans of Rikar's DNA, dozens of shifting markers, rapid mutations. Neural growth far beyond anything. In a child, the data was impossible. "His brain is rewriting itself," she said. "It's building new connections every hour. It's not just learning, he's evolving." Eli didn't respond. He didn't need to. He had already seen it. Ricker had started using tools, mimicking facial expressions, solving problems without being shown how. He could understand languages, recognize complex symbols, and sense danger before it happened. But it wasn't just intelligence, it was memory that night. As the ship floated through a quiet zone, Ricker walked over to Eli's bunk. He didn't speak at first. Just stared at the floor. Then, slowly, he said something Eli hadn't expected. "I remember fire." Eli looked up. "I remember my mother. She ran. She didn't make it." Ricker's voice was broken. It's not robotic, not childlike, just haunted. "I saw ships in the sky, black and silver. I saw the Empire burn our world." Eli sat in silence. "They said we were monsters," Ricker continued. "But we didn't start the war. We didn't want it." Eli clenched his fists. "Why are they afraid of you?" he asked. Ricker looked up, his yellow eyes burning bright. "Because they made us." The words hit like a THUNDERCLAP. Mara stepped into the room. "He's telling the truth," she said. "I've seen fragments in the Empire's old research archives, secret files. The Drakari weren't a natural species. They were created. Created by who?" Eli asked. "The Empire," Mara replied. "They were meant to be a weapon, a living army. But the Drakari grew too strong, too smart. They turned on their creators. And the Empire erased the records, then started the war to finish the cover-up." Eli stood, furious. "The Drakari were never the enemy. They were victims." "Some of them," Mara said. "But the ones who survived the war, those that changed, became something the Empire couldn't predict or control." She pointed at Ricker. "He's the final step." A light blinked red on the console. "Tracking signal?" Mara said. "Someone found us." Ricker walked to the window and stared at the stars. "They'll never stop," he said. "Not until I'm dead." Eli stepped beside him. "Then we don't run." Mara looked at them both. "What are you suggesting? We tell the truth." Eli said, "All of it. We leak the data. Show the galaxy what the Empire did, what they're hiding." Mara hesitated. "If you do that, you'll become a target for every loyalist in the system." Eli looked at Ricker. "He's not a threat. He's proof." Mara nodded slowly. "Then we'll need a safe place, a signal relay, and a big enough audience." "I know just the place," Eli said, as the ship veered off course deeper into unregulated space. Ricker whispered, almost to himself, "I don't want to be a weapon." "You won't be," Eli said. "Not with me." But even as they spoke, back in the Empire's Black Site Command, Inquisitor Valen stood before a group of admirals. "They're still out there," she said. "And the cub is no longer just a cub." She placed the updated scan data on the table. "He's learning faster than anything we've ever seen. If he speaks to the public, if the truth comes out." An admiral interrupted, voice cold. "Then the Empire falls." Valen nodded, and the order was given. "Terminate them. All of them." But it was already too late. The truth had a name, and it was about to speak. The stars watched in silence as the message spread. Across spaceports, colonies, and outposts, screens flickered to life. Broadcasts were interrupted. Government channels shut down. And then a single face appeared. Not human, not Empire, but a doctor occurring, Ying, and beside him stood a human. Commander Eli Voss. Rickar's voice was calm. Not loud, not angry, just steady. "My name is Ricker," he said. "I am Drakari. I was born in war, but I am not your enemy." People all across the galaxy froze in place. Soldiers in barracks. Farmers in domes. Miners in tunnels. Everyone. Watching, unsure what to believe. "I remember the fire," he continued. "I remember my mother's scream. I remember the Empire's ships as they turned our cities to ash. I was only a cub when they came." Then Eli stepped forward. "They didn't tell us the truth," he said. "The Drakari weren't our enemies. They were made built by the Empire, used and then hunted down when they refused to stay under control." It held up the stolen data, hard evidence, genetic files, research logs. Even video footage of the Empire's original labs. Mara's encrypted signals spread it everywhere. There was no going back now. They created a predator, Eli said. But what they feared most was what came after. Ricker nodded. "They fear what I might become. Not a monster, not a killer, but something else. Something free." The signal ended. The galaxy didn't explode in chaos, not at first. Instead, whispered whispers in ship halls and trade routes, in secret meetings and open forums. The words were quiet at first. "The Predator lives. He walks with a human, and the Empire lied." But those whispers grew louder. On distant worlds, some rebel groups raised flags. On military stations, officers refused new orders. On old Drakari battlefields, scavengers found old weapons, reactivated automated systems, scanning for one genetic signature. I can't. The Empire responded with fire. They sent fleets, spies, kill teams. But Eli and Ricker were always one step ahead. They had allies now. Outlaws, hackers, even a few former officers. People who had always wondered, always doubted, who now knew the truth. Eli watched Ricker grow taller, sharper, stronger, but not cruel. Ricker learned history, studied languages, chose mercy when others might have, chosen revenge. He had claws, but he also had a mind and a heart. He never forgot the war, or what the Empire did. But he chose a different path, harder one. Years passed, and the name Ricker became legend, a myth told in whispers. Some called him a ghost, others a rebel king. But only a few knew the truth. That a human once found a dying cub in the ruins of a broken world, and chose to save him, not as a soldier, not as a weapon, but as a son. And even now, across the Empire's shattered borders, when the lights flicker and silence falls, people still whisper, "The predator cub." A human saved, walks still, and the Empire fears him for good reason.